Hey guys, and welcome back to the Make Your Wish podcast. We are so freaking excited to be back today and to be discussing one of our favorite topics, which is goal setting and just really getting your life together.
Mhm.
But I'm Erica and I'm here with my beautiful host, Desiree. And
Hi,
as
Kat.
always, please like, comment, and subscribe so that we can keep bringing you guys vibes. And it also lets the algorithm know that this is a really great video with helpful content. So, yeah, without further ado, let's jump into question time because I forgot about question time for a
You
second.
got it too. Yeah.
Okay, so question time. Since we both love Target.
Mm.
Okay,
Great.
okay. So since we both love Target, you have $1 million to spend in Target, and you only have 2 hours to spend the $1 million. Okay, let's not do 1 million. That's not very realistic. Let's do 100,000. So you have
Okay.
1 hour to spend $100,000 in Target. What are you getting?
Well, I'm gonna go steal your answer because we did this on Instagram Reels back and forth. And I would go splurge on gift cards, absolutely, because um yeah, that's what you can get the most of. I would definitely probably go buy like 100 pairs of AirPods because I buy a pair of AirPods every month now. Like I just need to put it in my budget. Um, but yeah, I would just let Ace run around, grab what he wants, but go like ham on the gift cards, like Starbucks, Visa, like all the things, just to get that 100,000 out of here, and then maybe resell them and get some cash later for them if I don't need them all. But yeah,
Awesome. I mean, I would do the exact same thing. Like we're really the same person because both of your answers were mine. I would
yeah,
definitely do the gift cards and then two AirPods. Like I'm literally probably on my 10th pair of AirPods and
no.
I have no shame in my game. They're easy to lose. It's not my fault.
Yeah, they are so easy to lose. It's terrible, especially when you're like people like us that like kind of run around and work for ourselves and things like that. You always kind of like need something in your ear, and it's like the most inconvenient times when you forget them or something. So I'll just run and grab a pair like at any time of the day.
I swear, like at this point, like AirPods are just disposable. It's
Yeah,
bad.
they
But anyways, that kind
are.
of goes
Okay.
along with what our goal is. Like one of my goals is definitely to be more organized and to be more like mindful. Like, and I feel like
Mhm.
our situation with the AirPods plays into the mindfulness because we move so fast sometimes. I can't tell you, I've literally left like 3 pairs of AirPods in the airports just
Yeah.
because I'm moving too fast. Like you're getting to
Yeah.
the airport late and you have an AirPods and you sit them down for a second. Next thing you know, you're on the plane and your AirPods are left at the destination. So like organization is definitely one of my goals for this
Mhm.
upcoming year. And let's just backtrack a little bit because I decided to jump into our goals. But whenever you're setting goals, of course, if you guys want to like a deeper dive into goal setting, go visit our previous episodes because we definitely take a deep dive. But I like to look at goals as like macro goals and micro goals. So your macro goals are your long-term goals, and then your micro goals are your short-term goals.
Yeah.
So, yeah, with that being said, it's always good before you set your goals to always take a step back and really evaluate who you are right now and who you want to be. And
Mhm.
while you're evaluating who you are and where you want to be, it's gonna like signal to you like what steps you need to take, what goals you need to set to become
Mhm.
that version of yourself. So let's dive into short-term goals really fast. So,
Yeah.
Desi, what are some of your short-term goals?
Oh, okay. So, I'll speak on kind of what you were just talking on because it's super important. That whole very mindful, very demure, like it was crazy funny and, took the internet by storm, but it's so important. And so just smart to actually hone in on that, being mindful. You spoke about leaving your AirPods at the airport. I just left my AirPods in my national rental car. Shout out Papa Steele. I just left my AirPods in the national rental car at LAX. So I'm having my man pick them up because he's flying back in, thank God, this week.
Mhm.
Um, they like sent me a little lost and found thing. But
Oh,
yeah, like I think that's really, really important how you speak on being mindful because It is true, and it's not just me and you who are always busy and who are always running around. I know it's all of you all who are watching. Like, there's always something to do. There's always somewhere to go, or you're always, taking that like time to just like try to schedule your day, and it doesn't always go as planned. So it's really important to be mindful and to like make sure that you're not only making your life easier but just bringing your mind like more peace. And I think that's what being mindful does, is just make sure that you're able to have your steps in order, but also just like remember everything and like put things in place the way that they need to be. But that's definitely one of my short-term goals, is to be more mindful. And then like in part with that, also just timing. My timing is off, but it coincides exactly with being mindful, because I do move faster than I should, and I think that coincides with it, and it doesn't allow me to always schedule things the right way or be on time to things, or have myself in place. And that is such a tough thing to do whenever you're not on time and not mindful, because then it puts you back, your whole day back, or your whole, just different things. It all ends up being like a rolling effect of just like mental, like chaos. So I would say short term, just making sure that I'm in place with things, making sure that I'm mindful, I'm thinking ahead and not just thinking, okay, day by day, how can I do this? But maybe just specifically like night before, spell it out. I'm really good at like writing in my notes and saying like, hey, Desiree, you got to do this, and this for tomorrow, and checking that out, but not exactly timing it out. So maybe short-term goal can be that.
Okay, nice. I mean,
Yeah.
literally same. It's like mindful in general. Like, oh my gosh, there's so many different categories. I even like have it as one of my goals is to be mindful of like my role I play with other people. So a lot of times like I can find myself like overcompensating or overloading myself when I don't have it. And then I'm um like, I don't know, just like with other people in general. So,
Yeah.
for instance, like I'll just literally be like, to the point where I'm like almost overwhelmed, and then someone asks me something, I'm like, oh sure, like okay, let's do it. Erica, like if you don't have it, like stop. This weekend I literally had to learn how to say no. And
Yeah.
I said no, and it felt so uncomfortable for me, but I was like, "I'm proud of you. You did it, like, it didn't align with what you wanted to do this day, and you didn't have
Mhm.
the mental capacity for it, and it just didn't fit." And I said no, and when I tell you, like, it felt so good, and I felt empowered, but then I also felt like a piece of crap because I was like, "Dang, like, whatever, blah, blah, blah." But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, mindfulness is great. Have you ever seen the TikTok episode or TikTok reels or whatever? Have you seen them where people are like naming off all of the stuff that people are telling you to do? They're like, get in shape, blah blah blah.
Quit the 9 to 5. Start the business. Build the website. Be wealthy yesterday. Make sure your partner is happy. Read 20 books a week. Sell an ebook about selling ebooks so that people can buy the ebook and so they can get an ebook.
Okay, but yeah, so whatever. I'll put one in so you guys can see it, but this is how I'm gonna
Okay.
name my goals. Like I'm just literally gonna name them off. So
Okay.
short-term goals, make yourself look presentable every day. Stop walking around like a bum. Second,
Mm.
cut out unnatural sugar. Candy for me. I know it's fun. Like it's you cut out
Ah.
candy, like no sweets. Like I'm like a sugar monster, so that one is like big.
Mhm.
8,000 steps a day. I want to wake up by 5:45 a.m. every day. I want to be in bed by 10 p.m. every day. I want to
Mm.
in a daily walk. Like even if I don't freaking have it, like I need to go outside, be with nature, and just breathe. Because it does
Yeah.
wonders for your mind, your body, your soul. Cool. Three is I want to listen to three marketing podcasts per week. I want to stay on trend and make sure that I'm just being the best version of myself for work as well.
Mhm.
One chapter of a book every day. And then I also want to make healthier choices. So if even if I am eating out like Erica, like get the healthier option. Like there's no reason
Mm.
greasy burger if like they have grilled chicken, you know? So making
Yeah.
that decision. And then three being that's not three. I want to also be consistent with paying off my credit cards.
Ooh,
I want to do a hair mask every 2 weeks. As another one of my goals is to start wearing my natural hair more often. So we're working through that, and cool. And then
yeah.
I also want to learn something new, like once per month. So that's kind of short term.
Mm,
Then I also want to just step out of my comfort zone. So finding opportunities to step out of my comfort zone because that's where you really get growth going.
yeah.
So yeah, hopefully that video, TikTok video, like reference as well. But like, I don't know. I feel like my short term goals are very like attainable and achievable. And it's
Right.
all about just like habit stacking, like making sure that I'm intentionally, you know, making efforts to achieve all of these short term goals.
Mhm. I'm curious. I'm really, really curious. And I think this, I mean, it's a question for me, but I'm sure people will have this too. But like, how do you make sure that once you set these short term goals or goals at all, I think my issue is like, how do I keep myself on track outside of just, maybe looking at them every day? Like, how specifically, I guess, are you going to implement them, or have you in the past?
Yeah, so it's definitely hard. I mean, and it varies from goal to goal. Like, it's easier to wake up every day at 5:45 versus like I don't know, being consistent with my credit cards because there's a lot of outside factors that affect that.
Yeah.
So, my thing that I like to do is make my goals like a non-negotiable, and it's about boundary setting too. And
Mm,
even like I feel like you have to even set boundaries with yourself and like let yourself know like like whatever, like these are my goals. And I'm going to achieve them. For instance, I literally have a goal set to go to the gym every single morning because it really does do wonders for my mind throughout the day. So if it's a morning and I really don't feel like it and I don't have the energy to go, like I literally tell myself like I don't care how you feel, like this is your goal, you're gonna get up. And I literally like force myself to get up. So it's really about
mm,
discipline and really like, like give yourself grace, but also don't accept your own BS. Like you have to know
yeah.
yourself well enough to know like, okay, like I don't be consistent with this, X, Y, and Z. Another thing that I do to really, really, really help me achieve my goals is like make a goal list or a to-do list for the day. Or
Mhm.
at least like oh, you can't see it. My journal where I
Love it.
literally have my day hour by hour planned out. So I make
Yeah.
sure that I literally have everything and like there's no better feeling than like actually crossing something off of your to-do list. So yeah,
I
that's
agree. My journal is everything too because, and I also like notice that even, because some hours like you may miss or
fun.
some like meetings may go so fast and you're just like, oh, okay. But I do love like that I can go back and just look and say, okay, it's 3 o'clock now. Like I should have this, and this done, and it's just like, okay, like have I gotten all these things done? No, I need these two things, still like, okay, let me get those two things done. Like it is really helpful just to see where you should be at that time. And then it'll be at the forefront of your mind of just the few things that you may miss.
Making
Um,
you mindful.
Mindful. There we go. Um, yeah, and then some more like just things that ran across my mind when you were kind of speaking on that. One thing that I have done is set a Google calendar, like for my Google Calendar, like that is really life. And I know how there's like memes that are like, if it's not on my calendar, like don't expect me to get it, and that's literally me now. But I've also set on my Google Calendar like each month my statement dates for my credit card. So that day, like it will remind me, hey, today this amount needs to be paid. And I always just set the same amount. I just have pushed it like for forever. But I always just set that same amount. Like by this day, you need to have it paid. So even if the days leading up, I don't get it paid, at least I know, hey, this is your last shot. Like, and that way I'm mindful of like, hey, if you don't pay it by today, I gave you a reminder. So, it's like, just keeping that at the forefront. And then I've also seen, I don't do this specifically, but like you were speaking on healthy, I also have just seen other people like set alarms, like drink your water like every 2 hours or something. And that's, yeah, I think that's really helpful too. And even if you wanted to do that with like your walks, like set reminders, I don't know. I mean, my phone's in my hand 24/7. So the reminders and the calendars and things like that, they just keep me on track.
Yeah. And if you definitely want to take it a step up even more, definitely invest in an Apple Watch too, because when I tell you it keeps you aligned, like it even tells you, okay, you need to get up and stand, like, like, and then also when your Google Calendar invites, like you get a buzz on your wrist when it's time. Like you literally, like, it just helps me like really, really stay aligned. So I'm
Yeah.
100% there with you. Let's do our long-term goals in the way, like just listening them out, and then we can just discuss a little bit.
Mhm.
I mean, this episode is just dedicated to really just giving you guys a glimpse into like what real life goal setting looks like.
Yeah.
So cool, whatever. Okay, so my long term goals is to clear out half of my debt by May 2025. I want
Mm.
to 700. I know, like, this is really specific, and do not judge me for not having any of it yet. Like, I am a girl, just a girl, and I'm still learning, okay? But I want
Period.
to get credit score by August 2025. This one's kind of out of my control, and when you do set your goals, you should only set goals really that are in your control, because when they're out of your control, like whatever. But I want
Yeah.
to be engaged by May 2025.
I'm in agreement with you there.
Yes, I want to get my Instagram followers back to 11,000 by January 2025. And
Mm.
then I will also want to grow my followings for all my podcasts by 5%. I want to update and relaunch Duh Journals by February 2025. And then I want to find one like local friend to do stuff with, because I don't really have like a local friend. So I want to find a local friend. Yeah.
I
So yeah,
know. I literally, me and Erica like tell each other every day we wish we were closer because
I
we
swear.
would be our local friend. I have no local friends. I'm starting to get some, so that's exciting. But as
Okay.
of right now, no local friends for real that are consistent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that. Okay, so I think, and those are great. And people say like and that those aren't delusional goals at all, but I've also seen the conversation around like delusional and like, but to be honest, like you have to have delusion in you to be any sort of successful at all. And like that's just real free game, guys. Like don't sit here and try to make it seem like people are just delusional when they have high expectations or high goals for themselves, because these things, like, you cannot achieve them without having that, because success is like 1%. Like it's not going to be everybody. It's not. And if you believe that for yourself, you can achieve, like, though, if you believe you can achieve, it's so true. So true. And they always say like you're one mistake away from success. It's so true. Mistakes, mistakes, mistakes. That's what creates success. So I love your goals, and I second them for you, and I believe in them with you, because you're gonna get there. Those aren't even like anything crazy. Those are like you're getting there. Period.
I had to make my goals like realistic for myself, because like I said, I can be delusional too, but for this term, I'm looking at Q4 and looking or I'm like projecting the first half of next year. So I'm like, what do you really need to get done? Like, what are your non-negotiables? Like, you cannot stray away from this plan. Like, what do you need to get done? So this is
Yeah,
reflected in that. But yeah,
I
for sure.
love that. I
How
love
about
that.
you? Do you have a few long-term goals that you just want to list off?
Yeah, so a few of mine that I'm working on right now. Number one is the network. So, as I don't know if you guys know, but Erica and I have recently gone into legit business together, and we are so excited. But her role is crazy necessary in like strategy and making sure that we're like legit across the board. And mine is more so like clientele, like making sure that we're pulling them in and networking. So my immediate goal right now is making sure that I'm putting myself in places and spaces to pull in that network. All we're going to do is grow and expand in our businesses. Cross media is just one, but we have a lot more to go. So looking at investments as well. Real estate is something that I'm crazy intrigued by, and hoping to invest in that in the very short term. So but I guess I would say that's a long term goal, because next year is really when I want to establish some real estate properties. So yeah, so first I would say getting in those spaces and places to network, and I've made a few moves already in that. Spent some money, but it's necessary to find your clientele. And then investing in those properties, definitely expanding on my cross media, our pages, growing and following. I think that's really, really important just for branding in general and anything that you do. It's sad, but people take you more seriously whenever you have, the following. And you get, more brand deals. And that's another goal also is focusing on brand deals. So, yeah, long term, definitely get a 700 credit score. Like I would do anything. It's so hard to stay there. But yeah, just making sure I'm consistent in that as well.
Nice. Do you have any like personal? Because that was like really business oriented, and I
I
love it.
know it's
But
my whole
like,
life.
you have like one little personal goal. Let's just.
Yeah. I mean, really just being, more mindful, kind of like we spoke about, like, making sure that my timing is on. Um, and yeah, just pouring into myself. Like, I think I've spoken on it a little bit, but making sure that I'm taking my weekends, making sure that I'm clocking out at 5 o'clock or at worst 6:30. Those to just have realistic goals. Those are kind of like my personals because, after I get aced home from school, I want to be really involved. I don't want to have to keep jumping back on my iPad or my laptop. So yeah, I'd say those are like my personal, just spending more time with my baby and my life and trying to find, that I am playing pickleball with a friend tomorrow. So I'm already like, working on like friendships and things like that. So yeah,
Good.
keeping that.
Love that for you. And like, oh my gosh, that's my number one suggestion for anyone that's setting goals. Make yourself a priority in your goal setting. Make sure that you take time
Yes.
for yourself. Because if you do not fill your own cup, like everything else will like it just won't be as great. So make sure you're taking time for yourself. Fill your own cup, whether that's taking, I mean, just the extra 30 minutes in the morning or at night, just to like do stuff that you love or that you want to do. Um, but yeah, those are
That
all
is so good, Erica. I just want to hone in on that, guys. Like, in goal setting, make yourself a priority. It's so easy to say, oh, this, and that. But in your goal setting, like, make yourself the priority and then everything else after that because I fail at that. So I just, I want to hone it. I know Erica does at times. So, learn from us, hear from us.
yes,
Yeah.
literally. But yeah, so now that we have like our long-term goals and our short-term goals, I just think it's really important to make sure that, your goals are one, measurable, and then your goals two have a date to complete. And I feel like having a date or a deadline really just like puts the pressure on yourself of like, just trying to stay consistent to actually reach those goals and stuff like that. Once you have your goals laid out, make an action plan of how you plan to actually get those goals set up. And then from there, like everything else will be cake. I mean, it's not gonna be cake. I'm lying. But you'll have the consistency and everything that you need to keep going and accomplish those goals. But yeah, that concludes this week's episode. We're definitely going to touch base next episode on all of our goals, just to make sure that we're staying aligned with our goals, our plans, and all of that good jazz. And then we'll jump right back in, and we'll continue to set goals, and we'll continue to reach the sky because the sky's the limit, or whatever. So yeah, closing remarks. Do you have any closing remarks, Desi?
Um, no, I think that was it. Making yourself a priority, and just taking the time to set your goals. That's really important because again, we often fail. We're not perfect, but striving every day to be. So yeah.
And then also, along with that, it's just like, while you have your goals set and stuff, like give yourself grace as needed, but also don't accept your own BS because you are the only person that can hinder yourself. No one else can hinder you but you. So, with that being said, let's make our wish for the upcoming season that we're walking into, and then we'll close out. So, we'll go ahead and make our wish right now. So, three, two, one. It's always so funny, like, I don't know, afterwards it's always so funny, but, yeah, we thank you guys so much for watching this episode, and feel free to comment below your goals. We really wanna know your goals. We really want to know, like, about your previous goals that you set, in January and how they're going as well. So, Let us know, and we'll be here. We're virtual besties. And please like, comment, and subscribe because it really helps us in a lot of ways. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
I just have a